Hello, everybody. Okay. Hello, Brenda. Hello to Space Cowboy and Samuel. Welcome. Good afternoon or evening, wherever you are. It's afternoon here, so I hope everybody's had a really good week. I know I have. It's been pretty good. And we're back. It's Sunday and we're back. So, how's everybody's week been? If you guys were around last time when Sebastian from Black and Orange Tarot and Astrology, she was in the chat and was helping us on stream. She's an astrology expert, and she was showing us all about the significance of, the movement of some of the outer rim planets. And it was fascinating. There's been some really, really huge stuff going on lately. And it was kind of interesting to get the astrological perspective behind it. So I thought that was really, really something. But yet it's been a pretty good week. Brenda says she had a cool week. That's awesome. Oh, you like my dress? Thanks, Lilith. It's actually a shawl. I got a shirt and shorts and a blanket because it's comfortable, and my shawl. It's finally nice enough I can wear this instead of a sweater, so. All right. I got my smelly candle. It's apple cinnamon, and I love it. It smells great, but I'm using it to light our eucalyptus that we're going to start off our stream with. We're gonna just start with a easy little cleansing practice. If I can get this to light. Yep, there we go. One sec. There we go. We are going to relight this apparently because it doesn't want to stay lit. That's okay. There we go. We are going to cleanse the energy from last week that is no longer necessary for us to hold on to. We're going to cleanse it out of our bodies, our minds, our emotions, our energetic field. We're going to release everything that does not belong to us. We're going to release energy, emotions that are not ours to carry, that are other people's. We are going to remove that now. All right. Oh, I'm glad that the weather's been nice for you guys over there in the UK. It's been really nice here too, finally. I'm so happy about it. The sun's out and the snow is gone and it just feels good. Lilith said, oh geez. Lilith said, I pulled Tower card for myself yesterday and it's accurate AF. The struggle is real. I hope you're doing okay. The tower is not always a bad thing, but upheaval can be very uncomfortable. So I feel for you. Hello to Mudita and for Yoo-Hoo in the chat. Hey Slay, welcome. Yoo-Hoo is wondering if they should get a divorce, will it hurt their kids? Well, now this is, if you're new here, I'm not sure if you're new here or not. I don't give legal advice. So I could do tarot reading for you, but it's not going to replace what a lawyer could tell you. It's not going to replace what a psychologist might tell you, how it can affect your family or your kids, right? But I can give you what I get, just messages I get spiritually from doing these readings and just from tuning in psychically. So you know what? We could do this reading for you, yeah. Because your question itself is harmless. Before I do the reading, though, I'm sure you've already thought about this, but what do you think would be, better for your kids? Being in a home all together where the adults are not getting along, or co-parenting and having the kids transition from one parent's house to the other, but in each environment, there's at least a sense of peace. Every family is a little different and every situation is different, but that may be something to think about. But you know what? Let's start with a Moonology oracle card for you. And let's see what we get. Okay, well, there are two that I wanted that jumped out and I couldn't decide, but Spirit told me to pull them both, and I'm really glad I pulled them both. We have luck is on your side, and we have you and your loved ones are safe. So, let's look at that. I always love seeing the you and your loved ones are safe because, sometimes big decisions like that and life changes like that, sometimes they're necessary or, unavoidable or whatever, but they can be scary, right? And it's just really good to know, like, everyone is going to be okay once the dust settles. So let's actually clarify or get a tarot message for that luck is on your side oracle card. So what does that mean for Yoo-hoo, Spirit? Okay, quick. So it's if you did choose the divorce route, yeah, the process could be very quick. It wouldn't necessarily drag on. That could be very lucky for you. Let's see what else. Okay. Your perspective, I think, on your situation might change over time with this hangman. Kind of makes me think about, what I had said before we started the reading. What would be better for your kids? Having them get used to transitioning back and forth, or being in a household where the adults stay together for the children's sake, but the kids know that the adults are not happy, and the adults know that they're not happy, and it can become very dysfunctional over time. Whatever you decide to do, but I'm just seeing here that if you did choose the divorce route, eventually you'd be like, oh, I actually see where this may have been a good thing. This may have been for our benefit, because this 10 of Cups is happy family and is their spiritual fulfillment and emotional fulfillment, but it's this feeling of like, we are okay. We're still together, we still love each other. And when I say we're still together, I mean the family itself. You don't have to still be married to your spouse to still have a loving family environment for your kids. Now let's look at this. You and your loved ones are safe. Are there any other messages to go along with that, Spirit? Yeah, Rose Blue in the chat, she makes a really, really good point that children can be affected for many years from a disruptive home. She says, my kids are grown now, but the effects are still there. Okay, but the you and your loved ones are safe message. Oh, okay. Okay, all right. You know what? This is not a bad thing at all. Now, I understand divorce is not cheap. I get that. And if you are worried about finances and being able to recover, and you being able to function as a single parent and your spouse being able to function as a single parent and having your finances separated like that, I'm just hearing like there will be a cost up front, which makes sense with the, you know, legal fees and stuff like that. But you will make it back. Do you know what I mean? You will make that money back over time. And there is just something about it. It will become worth it. Eventually, it will become worth it. And then the world card, it's like, it's a safe, again, like I said, if you choose to go this route, it's safe. It's a safe closure of like a chapter in your life. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. If you're worried about that causing a great amount of harm, I'm not going to say that it'll be painless, because it won't, but it will be best, I think, to end this chapter and start something new, rather than keep holding on to something that is not working. Oh yeah, and I just noticed this was on the bottom of the Oracle deck. That is the end of a tough cycle approaches. Look at our world card. That's the end of a cycle. So I like seeing that connection there too. I think you know in your heart what the answer is. You maybe were just looking for that extra encouragement that it was okay. But yeah, if that is what you choose to do, Spirit is saying you'll be okay. All right. I'm going to go back through the chat. I'm so super pleased, always pleased with my moderators for reminding everybody of the chat rules and how I generally do things around here on my channel on these streams. And you're right, we don't entertain spamming in the chat. We don't entertain bullying and rudeness. Not that it happens very often, but once in a while you'll get a rando swing in from wherever and be silly. But all right, let's see. And like I said, or no, I didn't say it this time. I always say it in my other streams, if I missed your question, it's okay to like repeat it once. Preferably just ask your question once, but if you asked like, sorry, I'm putting on slippers at the moment, so that's why I'm looking a little weird. Okay, but if you ask, like say you ask early in the stream and 25 minutes, 30 minutes go by and I haven't acknowledged it, it's okay to ask again, but then don't spam after that, okay? I pick the questions that I guess I feel the most drawn to. I read on what I read on. And if I don't get to you or I don't notice you, it's not personal. It's either I just didn't see it. The only time it would maybe be personal is if you're like spamming and being rude. But again, that doesn't happen very often around here. So let's see who else in the chat has questions. Okay, Megan. And ooh, Mudita, that's a good one. Mudita says used to do white witchcraft. I used to, or I still do, but I used to too. You're right. Can you do one for forgiveness for the collective? That's a really good one. Okay, we could do something like that. And then I know Megan had a question. The tiger energy hidden around me that's interested but staying hidden. Okay, interesting. Space Cowboy, I did not see your question, but I am still scrolling up through the chat, so just give me a minute. Okay, so you asked a third-party question, but I can perhaps reword it. We don't want to use people's names, first names, in the chat, and a single initial is okay, or use their zodiac sign, that's okay, because Spirit knows exactly who it is that you are thinking of. I don't need to know the name of the person you're thinking of. Oh, Rose Blue says, I'm not going to Florida. They don't want me to stay there and help. Cried a lot yesterday. Was that in regard to your parents? Because I remember we read on that. I'm very sorry that things didn't quite turn out the way you expected or we were hoping for, but I still have this feeling like you'll still be going back at some point. Excuse me. Okay, so Space Cowboy has a third-party question, but we'll just, excuse me, I need water, hang on. You know what? Okay, well, Space Cowboy, we'll do this really quick. I don't necessarily do the chat questions in order, so if I don't do yours in order and somebody, asked after you and I did them first, it's not personal. We'll do a quick one for you, Space Cowboy. You're in a no contact situation. Will you and the person you're thinking of ever communicate this year? So for the rest of 2025, from now till the end of 2025, despite your no contact situation. Well, oops. I do see with the Wheel of Fortune where there's something about there's something, words are hard. There is something that's meant to happen in the situation. You're meant to have some kind of I think it's a quick communication. The placement of these wands on here, it really reminds me of, you see a screen cap, you're texting someone, there's this bubble, and goes down in like a column like that. So it could be some text messaging or emailing, whatever it is that you use. But there's a cutting one's losses energy here. You're acknowledging, you and this person, you're going to be acknowledging something that happened, and it's kind of like it's just not worth holding on to this. I'm going to let it go. And you'll feel better for it. So I guess there will be at least a little bit of contact, maybe some messaging or a brief conversation, perhaps. Yeah, and there's kind of I don't know, Spirit gives me cliches all the time, but like a bury the hatchet, type of energy where you're like, I don't want to fight over this anymore. I really don't. If this situation has harmed our friendship or our connection and so much, let's just forget about it, or let's let it go. Of course, depending on what happened, what you've been through. Whether that's let's let go and move on, or if that's let's let go of this connection and move our own separate ways. You're going to figure that out in your conversation that you'll have with this person. Okay? All right. And then Mudita. We're going to get our eucalyptus out again. I can never get enough eucalyptus. I like the smell of it. I think eucalyptus smells a little better than sage, but that's just my opinion, whatever. So I tend to use that instead. It just smells so fresh. So we're going to light this. And Mudita wants to do a little bit of magic, a little bit of spell work for forgiveness for the collective. Spirit's guiding me to just move my bundle like this, which is really strange. I'm normally not guided to which way I should move the eucalyptus bundle or the cinnamon stick or whatever, but I just feel like I'm supposed to be doing this with it. So whatever that means, I'm just going to trust the process. Spirit, thank you for forgiving us when we need it, and for forgiving us, and then for space, giving us the compassion and the love that you have for us that we can share with others. Please help us to forgive what needs to be forgiven in our lives and move forward. whether that's forgiving for our own sake so that we stop hurting, or forgiving for someone else's sake because we love them and want them to stop hurting. And then help us to just release the energy of non-forgiveness. Help us to just release the grudges we may be holding. Help us to release the resentment that we may still be holding on to. Help us to, I'm being instructed, we're all going to do a really, really deep breath here in a second. Help us to breathe it out and keep it out. Please take this energy that we no longer need and turn it into something that benefits the collective. All right, so we're going to do big breath in and then big breath out. Okay, and so it is. The sun went behind a cloud here a bit ago, so it's looking a little dark in my room, but if that is a problem for you guys, I can always just go turn on my lamp. I'm sure the sun will be back in a moment. It's just kind of doing its thing. All right. And then Megan was asking, tiger energy currently around me that's interested but staying hidden. Can you kind of explain that a little better? Not that you didn't explain it well. It's just that I kind of have trouble interpreting what you're trying to ask. Like what are you referring to with the tiger energy? In the meantime, oh, Sebastian, welcome. Oh my goodness, you are so sweet, and you brought your viewers from your stream. And I didn't comment in the chat, but I did lurk a little bit when I was getting ready for this stream. I was looking at yours. Sometimes I just kind of lurk and just quietly observe, but good to see you guys all here. Sorry, I'm just looking through the chat. All right. Okay. In the meantime, I suppose Spirit understands perfectly what Megan's asking with her question regarding the tiger energy. I get the question itself. I'm just intrigued what the tiger energy is about. It seems very, very interesting. Kathy S. says, future job now that I have my MSW, and my brain saw MSW and read it as murder, she wrote. I don't know why. Oh, y'all are funny. Acadian Proud says, I try to send positive white light to the guides around those causing the problems and lessen the effects and use the rest to help those affected by their actions. That is beautiful. That is beautiful. You know, sometimes I forget to think of it this way, but yeah, those people that are in our society that are causing our problems. No, Megan, can you put your question back in the chat? Can you also help me understand like the tiger energy you're talking about? Very intrigued. So anyways, yeah, I tend to, forget that those people are people too, and that they have spirit guides and that the divine loves them just as much as the divine loves the rest of us. It's weird, I guess, because we don't really want to think about being one with those who cause us harm and pain. So I think that was that's a beautiful practice that you have, Acadian. And there's, obviously there's some kind of a wound in each of those people that perhaps influences their behavior and causes them to act the way they do. It doesn't excuse it, but it, maybe explains it a little, and perhaps they also need healing. Yep, Sebastian's right. The orange person has guides, even long-suffering guides. Yep, Brenda says, my mom always used to say that God blesses everyone, good or bad. We are all blessed. Yeah, and God loves everyone. That's what I was always taught growing up, was that God loves everyone, you know, whether you do good things or bad things. You know, maybe people can do things that really disappoint Spirit, disappoint God, and, you know, maybe just, I don't know. Yeah, I guess so. That really, really disappoint God, and yet God's like, I still love that person. Megan, tiger energy. Okay, what do you mean by the tiger energy? Somebody in the chat said that there's a drink called tiger energy. I'm just really curious what you mean by tiger energy. Ellie is right. I really agree with what you say. That orange one is teaching the world a massive lesson. Yep. He's learning a massive lesson that's not going to sink in until he crosses over. I know that much, and that's all I'm about to say about that. All right, but in the meantime, oh, okay, thank you for explaining that, Megan. Megan says, I was told from another, I'm being hunted and watched for by a tiger, and I'd like to know more about this tiger. Okay. Interesting. All right. So sure. Now I'm kind of like, I'm like extra intrigued. So yeah, let's look at that. Sure. What does Spirit have to say about that? Okay, there we go. Told by another, I'm being hunted and watched by a tiger. I'd like to know more about this tiger. Okay. Well, it's not a literal tiger. So don't worry about that if that's if you were worried about that. No. So Spirit, what is going on with Megan's situation? What can we know about this tiger that she's been told is following her, is watching her? So let's get an oracle card. Hunted and watched at night by tiger energy. Okay, interesting. Okay, well, I mean, first we have believe the impossible with blue moon. We're going to pull another one. A new romantic cycle begins. Okay, interesting. Well, now let's get some tarot messages. So, believe the impossible and a new romantic cycle begins. Because I was going to say, this like tiger, at least from what I'm able to sort of pick up on, it doesn't seem like it's dangerous. Like I know normally in nature, if a tiger's following you and hunting you, it means, excuse me, it means I have the hiccups apparently. It means you're about to get eaten. But in this case, it feels different. Like you're being pursued, but it's in a different way. Okay. In the past, I'm just kind of wondering here, did you ever like swear up and down that you were not going to get married? Like, oh, I'm not going to answer to another person. I'm not going to, you probably wouldn't have used this wording, but this is the energy I pick up on. I'm not going to submit to another person. I'm the boss of myself, basically. I feel there's something like that, but you're with this Five of Swords, you're kind of letting go of this mindset, this like, I'm not doing this at all. It's never going to happen. No. So yeah, you're going to let go of this. I'm protect myself. I'm a, lone wolf, even though we're talking about tigers here. Okay. Emperor is often a husband or father. So, gender, of course, not really important. It's more the energy here, but Emperor, if you are somebody who is attracted to men, This could be somebody that becomes your husband, and should you choose to have children, be the dad of your children. And then I see with the Hierophant, the legal ceremony. So you could actually have like marriage coming into your life. And, you know, like, again, should you choose to. Now, I don't mean to interrupt. However, it is a little dark in here, and I am going to just turn on my room light. That's better. Okay. Got my stylish. See, I'm very stylish from the waist up today, but I have my athletic shorts underneath because I got to be comfortable. There we go. There, perfect. Okay. So let's get a little bit more info. Oh, interesting. I just saw your comment there, Megan, about the other reader said that he was a tiger and saw you as a lamb. Okay, that's interesting. I'm gonna just do a quick check on that dynamic, what his intentions are. Because normally when we use that lion and lamb, or, you know, tiger, predator and prey, right, it seems like predatory. But I don't feel like that's the energy here. However, I do want to just double check. What are the intentions of this person? What are his intentions of this potential future spouse? Are they just really assertive? I think so. This is somebody that's they know what they want. Actually, Spirit wanted me to show you this one first, our 10 of Pentacles. This person knows what he wants. He knows that he wants a family. He knows he wants a legacy, generations. Okay. Which is okay. I think that seems fine. No, I'm getting ahead of myself. I'll read on just a sec. Yes, somebody that is very clear, again, with what they want. He's also very logical. He's very detail-oriented. He's very plan. Everything has a plan. He's got a plan for everything. He might be a little bit too... I think you might be a good, like a counterbalance for him, because you seem like you're more go with the flow, but he's very much, I think he might be a little bit too, I'm not going to use the word strict as in like mean, but rigid. Rigid is the word I'm looking for. He might be a little too rigid with his planning, and he needs to know that he's got to be a little bit more flexible. Now, the next thing I'm going to ask is do you have to pursue this person? And really the answer is, it's up to you. Should you choose, if you meet this person and you like them and you have a good feeling about them, then awesome. But if you don't, you know, if you meet them and you're like, oh, actually I have some reservations about you, that's okay. But let's look. Something just feels weird. Like, it doesn't feel like intentionally predatory energy. It doesn't feel like you're being hunted down, you know, to be eaten. But this person is like really, they're pushy. If you don't like somebody that's really pushy, you don't have to pursue this person. If you choose not to pursue this person once you meet them and they make their intentions very clear to you. Like I said earlier, it just depends on how you're feeling and what your intuition's telling you. You can still create this opportunity with someone else. Yeah. Because if you reject this particular person, that's okay. It's not that this is the only option for marriage or long-term relationship in your life. It's just, it's like the energy is the loudest. You know what I mean? The loudest, yeah, the most, how do I word that? Because I want to say forceful, but this person isn't like forceful in an abusive way. But again, very assertive, can be quite pushy, is very, very rigid, is very structured. And if that is not something you are looking for, you don't have to pursue. But that option though, I'm still interested in new romantic cycle begins. Because yes, this person is either it's somebody that like they're admiring you from afar and maybe you just haven't met in person yet. Okay, but Spirit, what is this? This new romantic cycle begins and in belief in the impossible. And it has to do with Megan saying earlier, I'm never getting married, I'm never submitting to someone else, I'm never answering to someone else. Interesting. Okay, interesting. I have 7 of Cups and 7 of Swords. There is somebody, okay, I'm just going to listen to Spirit for a minute because I know what they want me to say, but Spirit, how do I say this? Okay. In a different stream last week, I don't know if you were here on my stream last week, but we had discussed the difference kind of between intuition and anxiety and how you can feel them both in the gut, but anxiety was forceful and it pushed you and it was like, you must do it now or else. There was all this fear behind it. Meanwhile, intuition is strong, but it's not meant to push you into making premature decisions. It's just there to guide you gently. You know how you can be firm but gentle? That's intuition, whereas anxiety is more, it's not gentle, it's forceful. I'm seeing like 2 potential suitors. There's the one that we are seeing here who's like very, he wants a trad wife. I'm just going to say it. He wants a trad wife. If you don't want to be a trad wife, don't pick this guy. He's not going to be necessarily the right one for you if that is not a lifestyle that you want. But then I am seeing somebody that's that is more like gentle and more soft. They're still, they're firm, but they're gentle with their energy and their pursuit of you. They see you as an equal. They don't see you as a prize to be won. Whereas the guy, this tiger guy, he, yeah, no, There's a fine line there. Because I'm still not picking up abusive energy from him, but still with the, I just don't think I just don't think it would be like a happy marriage. You would have the legal, you know, the security and the legal, like the tax, well, I'm getting like protection and stuff like that, but emotionally, like I think you would feel cheated because it's not necessarily what you want. Temperance, I also have here. There's no rush. there's no rush to find out who the tiger suitor is, and then there's no rush to find I'm gonna say who the real suitor is. This person, this right person, will come into your life it sounds like such a cliche, but it's in the right timing, the divine timing. You're both doing healing work right now. And when you come together with the right person for you, you will be a whole person and a whole person getting together to be two people. Whereas with the tiger, I'm going to call him the tiger suitor, he is more looking for his other half. You know what I mean? But it depends on what you want. But yeah, like I said, if you don't want to be a trad wife, don't go for the tiger suitor. But a new romantic cycle does begin, and you will find somebody who you will fall in love with. Brenda, that's a good point. Tiger might be looking... No, Tiger's not looking for another tiger. Tiger's looking for a lamb. Tiger is looking for a traditional housewife. Stays home, stays barefoot and pregnant, cooks and cleans. Stays somebody who is submissive and not shaming people who have chosen that path and who maybe just in their nature are like that. No. But this person, this tiger suitor is looking for someone that he can like be the head of the household of and like be the boss of. Yeah, to dominate. No. Tiger is not looking for another tiger. So it's interesting to know that. So for you, Megan, don't be discouraged if you meet tiger guy and you don't like him and it doesn't work out, because there will be somebody else who comes after who is going to be right for you. Yes, Sunflower, you may ask a question. Yeah, and then with Megan, yeah, with you saying he sounds scary, it's one of those things where I don't think that's what that person's intent is, but you also don't have to tolerate it. Okay, let's go through the chat again. I'm sorry to hear about your granddaughter, Linda. I really hope that she's going to be okay. I don't feel necessarily comfortable reading on that. But what we will do for you is pray for the healing, the physical, mental, emotional, spiritual healing of your granddaughter. So Spirit, please take care of Linda's granddaughter. Please let the next set of x-rays and scans come up clean. Please let everything else come up normal and okay. Please give her peace and comfort. Please heal her body, heal her spiritually, heal her emotionally, heal her mentally, and heal her energetically. And so it is. Okay. What else do we have here in the chat? Momita, you can type your question again. Yeah, oh, I see. Lilith already answered. Yes, you can. All right. Okay, Momita is asking, may I know what changes are coming in my life and how to prepare myself for those changes? And also nowadays, I started developing lots of love and connection with God. Oh, I love that for you. That's very exciting for you. It's a beautiful thing finding a spiritual path that resonates with you, and developing your spiritual connection. So let's get an oracle card for Munita. Spirit, what is the message for Munita? Whoop. Okay. All right, 2 fell out, and you know what? I'm going to keep them both. Work through your fears. And then we also have confidence is the key to your success. Or confidence is your key to success. Same test. Okay. So I love that message of work through your fears, and then confidence is the key. That's what's going to help you to get through these upcoming changes. There's a cycle of awakening that's coming for you with your increased spiritual connection. You have kind of triggered, it's an awakening of energy. So let's get some more advice for Mumita on changes that are coming and how to deal with the changes. So what kind of changes, let's ask this first. Spirit, what kind of changes should Mumita expect in the near future? Okay, clarity, truth, insight. A very, do you have like already like a psychic kind of practice? Because if not, it may, and it's up to you, it may be worth just researching the different psychic skills that are out there and what we call the clairs. So there's the clairvoyance, so using the third eye and seeing images from spirit, often mental images. There's the clairaudience with hearing messages from spirit. Again, that doesn't always mean you literally hear things out loud. You can just hear it in your mind. There's clairsentience, which is the gut feeling or the feeling, or like a feeling in your heart with your intuition. There's the claircognizance, which is just knowing that you know something. You don't know why you know or how you know. You just know that something is true. There are other clairs out there as well, but those seem to be the most common ones. But yeah, definitely, it's like little snippets. I wonder if you're going to be a little more clairaudient with hearing messages just in your mind. I keep getting that. Like it's like you're going to keep seeing little snippets of words and sentences and advice, messages. And it's, I think, some claircognizance as well with you, because it's just something you know. You know that you know it. Interesting. Okay, what else for changes coming up? A slow but sure process. So you're not being rushed into spiritual development. You're not being, I hope I didn't I may have accidentally timed someone out. My apologies if I did that. But with Knight of Pentacles, yeah, no, there's no rush through the spiritual awakening. I'm going to call it a spiritual awakening. And that's what it feels like. And yeah, like I said, no rush through developing your psychic senses. There's no rush in this, the word curriculum comes to mind. You don't need to rush through the curriculum. You have lots of time to work on. Why am I being reminded of school? You have lots of time to work on this course, which is good, slow and steady. Sometimes that's a lot more comfortable for people than a sudden upheaval awakening, just getting used to it little bits at a time. What else? Any other changes to expect? So definitely more psychic communication. Yep, it's something that is just, it's going to be ongoing throughout your life. You're never going to stop developing your spiritual connection. You will never stop developing your psychic skills, should you, of course, choose to keep working on them. But even people who try and repress their psychic abilities, those abilities will still come up in some way. And because they're repressing them, it becomes disruptive. Whereas if you accept that, okay, this is the spiritual connection that I have, this is something I'm able to do, it's something that we're all capable of doing, you know, where it's like, oh, this is okay, it's all right. The less you resist, the smoother this process will go. So, how to deal with these changes. Well, there was working through fears and having confidence that things were going to be okay. But let's look at that working through fears. Is there anything in particular? Okay. Knowing that you don't have to go through this alone. Perhaps you might be afraid. Well, first there's insecurity with, am I good enough? Am I in a good enough spot in life? Am I in a good enough place in life to have the spiritual development, to be able to go through with this? Spirit's like, yes, 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 yes. Insecurity is a normal human thing to experience, but they also want you to know that you're not going through this alone. Okay, so if you're worried about this becoming too much, oh my gosh, what if this takes over my life? What if this disrupts every aspect of my life? What if this becomes too much? It won't. But you are going to need to, if you don't already do this, you are going to need to learn more about setting spiritual boundaries and having energetic boundaries, spiritual protection when you do this kind of work, whether it is helping other people by doing readings for them or just doing readings for yourself and having your third eye open, and having like I consider it having the psychic settings turned on when you're out and about in your daily life. It's just very important to have protection spiritually so that you're not accidentally taking on everybody's energy around you, because that can become exhausting. And you're not doing this alone. Like I keep saying that, and Spirit wants me to keep saying it, and I almost forget to bring it up again. There will be other people that you can talk to about what you're going through. So you don't have to keep all of this all to yourself. There are people, whether that's in your local community or even online. Like even around here, we talk about this stuff all the time, and I'm quite open about it on this channel, and I love hearing about other people's experiences with awakening. There are people you can talk to and receive advice from, or share experiences with. Any last messages for Mumita regarding this? Yep. Death card. This is a good one. People get kind of scared seeing the death card, but it's really not. It's not bad. It's a good one. TJ, you can repeat your question. That's fine. Yes, this is the falling away of the old self and a rebirth, a resurgence of the new self. And it's a process. It is going to take a little bit of work. Should you want to develop your psychic skills, you will have to set aside time to practice with it and actively work on it. And yes, the spiritual awakening, I'm getting a realignment. Now, I don't know if you go to the chiropractor or not, but this is just kind of an analogy Spirit's showing me, where I'm just seeing like a spine that's a little bit, it's got kinks in it, right? It's a little bit out of place, and it's being, it's being realigned. I'm seeing that with adjustments, realignments. Again, with the spine imagery, there could be, and especially with the orange that I'm seeing, because Chariot and Death are both major arcanas, and I'm seeing that, at least in this deck, these both have some like really strong orange imagery. I'm seeing that with the sacral chakra. There could be an aspect of Kundalini energy coming in for you. So perhaps do a little bit of research, actually do a lot of research on that if that is what resonates with you. But yeah, it's just, you're becoming, it's like a new self. We had a similar thing in our last week's stream where the imagery was that of a caterpillar turning into a butterfly. It's technically the same being, but it's just taken on a different form. And this is what's happening with you. You're the same physical self, the same Momita, but inside something is being made new. So I really hope that works out well for you. I know it will work out well for you, but I hope that you have a comfortable and joyful experience with that. Okay. And then Night Moon Glow says I put a question. I thought we were only supposed to put it once, so not to spam. If I don't know if you were here at the very beginning of the stream, but I did say if you ask it and I don't acknowledge it, let's say after like 30 minutes, then it's okay to put it in the chat again. It's spamming when sometimes we get randos who come in on the stream and they message over and over and over their question, like again and again and again, and they just copy paste it multiple times in the chat, or they start bothering me. Why are you ignoring me? Why are you ignoring me? Why are you ignoring me? That's spamming. If you ask it once and I don't see it, and like you ask again 20, 30 minutes later, that's fine. I don't see that as spamming. All right. Just looking at the chat. Okay. So TJ is asking, I work for an American client in the UK. Is my job safe? Interesting. Sure, let's look at that. Let's get an oracle card, just a word or two on TJ's situation, Spirit. Which of these oracle cards will best sum up that situation? Is there? Whoa, okay, there are two. Really? Okay. Yeah, there are two. Well, first was we have believe the impossible. Fell out while I was shuffling, and then we have win-win words are hard. Outcome is forecast. I almost said win-win. Fordcom is outcast. ADHD and verbalizing things into English is so friggin' hard sometimes, but y'all are so nice bearing with me. A win-win outcome is forecast and believe the impossible for TJ. So let's get more info on that. So believe the impossible. If you're really like, there's something very unlikely about your situation. Okay, I'm seeing here what we had falling out was Justice and Seven of Wands. You have a lot on your plate. You are constantly putting out small fires, it seems like, with this particular job that you've taken on. And if you're worried about, oh my God, am I even going to get this done? Like, am I going to be able to do before the deadline? Because it's like you get your work done and then the client's like, oh, but this, oh, but this, oh, but that, oh, but do you have time to do this? And they haven't like changed their deadline despite the extra stuff that you're having to figure out for them. You will be able to figure this out with Justice. Everything is going to be made balanced that needs to be balanced. Okay. And then whoop. I got the butterfingers today, apparently while I'm shuffling, but that's all right. Any of these that fell out, if they're very important to the reading, they will come right back up. All right, so what else should TJ know about their job? Win-win outcome is forecast. That shows me that their job would be safe. But Spirit, what do you say about it? Cool. All right. I think you will be able to get it done. Five of Swords. I'm seeing here winning at all costs. Five of Swords is interesting because you can be this person who's cutting their losses and walking away, or you can be this person who wins despite the obstacles. I see you as this person in this situation. Okay, so you've had all these challenges kind of thrown at you, and you managed to still overcome that and complete the project and still have it be really, really good quality work despite all of the issues that you faced. I'm seeing with the Fool card, it's the end. You finish the job and you're able to start another one. High Priestess, you learned something very important about this client that you did not know before, and I want to know what it is. And that's not to be nosy, because it is important for you and your work, and I feel like it's okay to ask about it. What is it that you learn about this client that's going to help you? It's going to help you finish the job, and it's going to help you do it well, and it's going to help you get opportunities for like future projects. So what's going on with that? Okay, there's something here about growing. The company's growing. Perhaps if you have a single, like if your client is an individual, I got here something about like somebody's pregnant with that Empress. Usually I don't see literal pregnancy that often with the Empress, but that is sometimes what it can mean, and that is what I'm feeling here. It's like somebody, if you're just dealing with one person as a client, like somebody is dealing with what they call it pregnancy brain, where sometimes a person who is pregnant can be dealing with brain fog and an inability to concentrate and remember and stuff like that. And so that could be part of why, oh my gosh, sorry, I forgot about this. Can you do this? Like, oh, I needed to send this to you and I didn't. Can you fit this in? But there's also just something about like this company is growing and your reputation is growing. But I like it. I like it. Your reputation's growing within the company as well. Anything else for TJ to know? Something about 2 weeks. Spirit, is this when the project gets done? There's like an evaluation or something in 2 weeks. Got Emperor. I guess because I already have Empress put out on the table. But yeah, Emperor, there's like it's whoever is the at like the head of the team, or whoever is like the boss, or like the big boss, you know. Like whoever is in charge of the person that wrote up your contract, there's an evaluation. Oh, you've been doing really good work for us over the could literally be the last 6 months. You've done really good work for us over time in the past. I just see like positive, I'm seeing like positive encouragement and an acknowledgement of the many small fires you've had to put out and the work that you've had to do. And I feel like that's not the norm. That kind of disorganized energy is not the norm for that company or that team. So they're going to acknowledge that and be like, wow, like you are such an angel for staying with us and doing this. We really appreciate you. Okay. Gonna look back through the chat a little bit. There we go. Let's see. Okay. Tapaswini Nayak. I don't know if that's how I'm supposed to pronounce your name. Please let me know what the actual pronunciation is. But Tapaswini is saying, it says in the chat, says, I'm making a major shift in my career path. Things haven't worked out for me until now. I'm scared if they won't this. Oh, I'm scared that they won't this time also. Also, there's a specific city I want to move to for studies. Okay. Okay. Well, let's see. So So Tapaswini is making major changes in their life, Spirit. And they're worried that things are not going to work out for their best this time because in the past, other plans and ideas had not worked out. Okay, well, we have a new start is coming. That flipped right out. A new start is coming. And you already knew that, but that is just confirmation that you were looking for. You and your loved ones are safe. Oh, I'm also seeing don't let your past hold you back on the bottom of the deck. That really stood out to me. Because I'm getting this message like none of your effort here will be wasted. Nothing is going to go to waste. So even things that maybe don't produce material results or don't produce results right away or results that you are looking for right away does not mean that any of your effort was wasted. I'm getting the image of, I'm supposed to tell you from Spirit, like think about how the compost works, how people take their banana peels and their orange peels and their eggshells and stuff that is normally discarded and not really thought about again, but they use it as compost and it helps the plants to grow. So even the effort you put in that might not produce immediate results or might not produce really big obvious results, it's still going to be very important to your process. But let's get a tarot message. Some advice. For making changes, are things going to work out this time? I love knowing that nothing is ever wasted. Your efforts are never wasted. Your energy will never be wasted in this situation. Okay, we have Six of Cups. I'll show that one to you in just a sec, but it's one that kept trying to flip itself out. Queen of Cups. Okay. Ten of Pentacles. Ooh. Ooh. Okay. All right. This is kind of exciting. Well, I can understand where maybe you're a little bit reserved with Queen of Cups. She's the only one out of all the cups and the court cards who has a lid on her cup, at least in this deck and in lots of decks, but this one especially, where you've kind of you have things that you look forward to, you have hopes, you have expectations, but you don't let yourself become excited anymore. You don't let yourself like really become emotionally invested because of how things didn't necessarily work out in the past. And this is a pattern that's been playing out since your childhood. And you know, it's maybe it's just one of those things where you try something new, you find out, well, this isn't really for me, but it feels disappointing because you're like, oh, then what is for me? And you're like worried that you're just going to keep getting more and more examples of what you don't want instead of what you do want. And you know, sometimes they say, oh, you're not going to find out what works until you've gone through and figured out what doesn't. Well, that's true, but I can understand at a certain point becoming very frustrated with stuff not working. And you just want to see results. You just want to see things working out. I get that. Spirit's saying that what's happening this time with the changes you're making, these will have long-lasting effects with Ten of Pentacles. It's going to have like a long-term success for you. I'm also hearing something about long-term success rate. Yeah, and it's something that will grow over time. I also have the energy of, I don't know if you do any investing or anything like that, and this is not financial advice, I don't give financial advice, but sometimes we can make investments that just slowly grow in the background over time. The efforts that you're putting in now, the investment that you're putting into yourself, and it could be financially, but I feel it's very much like energetically the intention and the effort, the work that you've been putting in. It's an investment, okay, into yourself. It will grow. It will pay off over time. Bottom of the deck, I have Death card. This is a brand new, it's going to be like a brand new experience for you because there's rebirth. I'm getting here, rebirth. Again, with the caterpillar example, where, you know, it goes into the chrysalis for a while. I'm not really sure what happens in the chrysalis, but from what I understand, it's pretty intense. It doesn't kill the insect, though. It just changes it. And it comes out looking like something completely different and in a way that functions a little differently, but is still the same being. So you're going to come out of this the same you. It's similar to kind of like what Moita's message was a little bit there, where you're still going to be physically the same you, but yeah, reborn inside. Your beliefs about yourself are going to, the beliefs about yourself that you are holding, if you're dealing with an inner monologue that's like, oh, I'm not smart enough, I'm not good enough, oh, that's not for me, oh, that's for other people, oh, that's just a fiction, oh, you're letting go of that rhetoric that's just going round and round and round in your brain. So your inner beliefs, your core beliefs are going to change soon. You're letting go of what doesn't serve you, but you have to put in the work of, you can do this through meditation or through daily affirmations or lots of ways you can do this, but replacing those old beliefs that I can't do it, that's not for me, replacing them with I can do it, I am worthy, spiritual development is for everybody, you know, prosperity is for everybody. Blessings can be for everybody. There's enough room in this world for you to have what you want and others to have what they also want. So whatever it is that you're making changes or doing this time, it's like it sticks this time because you now understand that you got to change the internal beliefs about who you are and your worthiness and your worthiness and whether or not you're deserving of having what you want, because you are deserving. Okay. All right. Leela's asking, how can I find my people? I find this interesting because your username is Leela, and it makes me think of Futurama, and the whole, like, most of the show was her trying to find her heritage and trying to find her people, so I thought that was kind of interesting. So I didn't know if you were just, like, making a funny Futurama reference there, or if you were being serious, you know, how do I find like-minded people? How do I... There are different ways that you can do this, and it depends on where you live. Of course, every community is a little different with the resources they have to offer, but you may be able to find like hobby groups or spiritual groups in your area or online even with that will have people who have like the same kind of interests as you or a similar mindset to you. Perhaps there is a church, or it doesn't have to be like a church, like a Christian church. It can be like a spiritual place. You know what I mean? But I'm going to use church because that's just the word that I know. But like a spiritual center where people congregate and talk about the divine and share energy, or like energy healing, or share encouragement and love. You maybe see what's available in your community locally for that kind of thing. In the meantime, it's totally okay to, if you do magic or manifesting practices, to manifest finding the right people that you're going to click with, finding your tribe. A lot of times they say your vibe attracts your tribe. Asking Spirit to open your eyes to people around you that you could really get along with, and that spending time together, you know, platonically, whatever, can be really beneficial. Okay. And then Night Moon Glow. Will I buy the house I want to buy in the next month or so? Okay, and then they're saying $, oh, money, etc. Thank you. Okay. Let's just get a tarot message for you. Night Moon Glow. Does Night Moon Glow get the house that they want? They're asking in the next month or so. Does Night Moon Glow get the house that they want? I see happy domestic life. It's a little like a small home, a small family unit. I just am hearing like small dwelling or single family dwelling, but it's a nice place. Like it's nice, it's comfortable, it's peaceful. Is it the one you want? I don't see why it wouldn't be. With the cards that I have here, I have Empress, where it's growing. There's something that's growing in the background that you're not aware of yet, but it could be if you've already spoken like with the realtor or the owner, depending on whatever route you're taking, you know, to get the house. They're working on something in the background, and like they could just be running, you know, they run the credit checks, they look for this, they look for that. It's different. I'm not being very specific because it's different what they check for in every community, in every state, province, country, etc., right? But there is something here growing in the background. Page of Swords. What are you telling me with Page of Swords, Spirit? 11 weeks. That's almost 3 months. Okay, what's going on? What's significant about 11 weeks then? I'm getting something about like within a month, like you close, but then in 11 weeks, like you get the keys. There may be something, because I'm seeing with 8 of Pentacles with work, there may be some kind of a renovation or something that has to be done first before you're actually able to get the keys and move in. Because I just see 11 weeks, I'm just seeing a hand literally with a key put in it. And that's, like I said, almost 3 months, but you're asking about in a month. What about like the paperwork and stuff, Spirit? Okay, Lover's card, close partnership. I think you're going to be, if you go through a realtor or whoever it is that you go through, yeah, I think they like you. You're not the only one that's interested in the house, but I think they like you the best. Devil card, don't be afraid of this though. It's the reason why we have 8 of Pentacles. There is some kind of a problem in the house that it will be fixed, but that's why you might have to wait that little bit of extra time before you actually move in, so that it's taken care of before you move in and not something you're dealing with and trying to work around and fix as you're unpacking and you know, getting everything together. Yeah, like right when you move in. So best of luck with that. Please, if you want to, in the future, give us an update on how that goes for you. I'm very excited for you. That's such a huge transition, and to be able to just have your own home is such a big deal. It's so, to be able to have a place to live in general is such a privilege, but there's just something extra about like it being your own. So I'm very happy for you. The energy seems good. Okay, really weird. When I was looking up at, I see here on, at least on my screen, I have the timer, how long I've been live for. I have the number of people that are in the chat and the number of thumbs up. At one point, the number of people in the chat was 45, and then the number of thumbs up was 67. So I was saying 4, 5, 6, 7. So sequential numbers there. And there's a message kind of to go along with that that's like everything is falling into place in the order in which it needs to be. Just go with the process. Okay. And then Roa, you had a question, I think. Megan's asking, can I save this live so we can rewatch after? They automatically save. So after I'm done, it might take a few hours for the live stream itself to fully process. YouTube's a little bit slow with that, but you will be able to replay it. You'll find it in the videos section. I think it's either videos or live, whatever, on my channel, and you'll see it. And it will have, I put the date in the title. The title's always Sunday stream, tarot readings, chat and chill, but I do put the date on the end to make sure that people are finding the replay of the correct stream they're looking for. So yeah, don't worry about that, Megan. So later today, or tonight or whatever, depending on your time zone, in a few hours after this is done, you'll be able to go back and rewatch it. Oh yeah, and then Leela, I just saw your comment where you said you're serious with a smiley face. I appreciate the smiley face because that shows me, okay, you didn't mind maybe my little silly Futurama connection there, but I hope that what I was able to tell you, I hope that was helpful to you. And then Amishi wants a general reading. Roa in the chat wanted a reading too, but I can't find your question. So, Roa, put your question in the chat again so that I don't miss it. This Jack 916 guy, he is determined. Every week, he shows up in the stream to say something stupid and then he gets himself banned or whatever, and he comes back every fucking week. This guy is determined. He is loyal. I'm just gonna give him a little quick thanks for making my analytics, go up, even though he's not here sincerely. He's just here to be a dingus. I'm not going to thank him for being a dingus, but I am going to thank him for getting my stuff pushed out there to more people. Ooh. The audacity, the lion, the witch, and the audacity of that son of a bitch. Some people are interesting. All right. And then Nightman Glow said, random thing, when I hit thumbs up, I was number 11. You say 11 weeks. I love that. And then like last week, I finally stopped seeing it everywhere. But last week, everything was 4:44 on the clock, on the oven timer, on the air fryer timer while I'm cooking. In a notebook that somebody had at work, I saw they had written 4:44. I was seeing that everywhere. And then I did some meditation and didn't necessarily get specifically why it was coming in. But now that I've done the meditation and set the intentions to have like a stronger connection to my guides and stuff, I don't see the 4:44 anymore. I also did get news about something in my family. Everything's okay, it's fine. But it was unexpected news. And after that, I also quit seeing 4:44. Weird. I love seeing the matching and sequential numbers. Just looking back through the chat, that's why I'm a little bit, oh, Night Moon, you are also seeing 444. How many are there, who else is seeing 444 everywhere? I was seeing it everywhere, to the point where I was starting to wonder if I was going crazy, which apparently I'm not, apparently I wasn't, but it was getting really, really weird. Okay, and then Roa's question was, the true extent of my potential powers and what am I capable of in my career and life? I'm a Libra. Hey, Libra, twinning. I am also a Libra. That's a fun fact. So yeah, let's look at that. Let's look at that. So Roa and then Amishi wanted a general reading. So we'll do Roa first. The true extent of your potential, of your power. Why am I suddenly being reminded of Star Wars? What is... It's funny because I'm about to quote Darth Vader, but this is not, you know, he's, you don't understand the power of the dark side, or, you know, whatever, or like, oh, and how that is like such a big thing for the Jedi to tap into, like the true power of the Force. Nerd alert, I know, but that's just kind of funny that I'm just being reminded of Star Wars there. But, you know, with the dark side, obviously it's not, in your case, it's not like you're going in a bad direction or anything like that. No, it's just, we underestimate the power. We underestimate our own personal power. We underestimate our own spiritual power. We tend to forget that we're spiritual beings in a human costume. New moon in Aries, it's time to take action. Now, I'm not an astrologer, but if astrology is something that works for you and resonates with you, that that new moon in Aries season, or the moon moves into Aries or something like that. I'm going to stop trying to explain the astrological stuff that I don't have the training in, but I'm just saying there's something about that could be significant to you. Step out of your comfort zone was the one that was on the bottom of the Oracle deck that really was also standing out to me. Step out of your comfort zone. It's time to take action. A lot of times people are afraid of their true potential. Sometimes we think we're afraid of failure, but we're actually afraid of success. We think we're afraid of being weak, but we're actually, we're actually afraid of the true power that we hold. So what is Roa capable of in their career and life? Okay, the ability to just keep moving forward. I get with the Knight of Pentacles, the ability to, it's the patience. You have the patience to put in the effort and to put in the works again and again and again that you need to do. You have patience for the mundane. Excuse me. And it's really going to help you, especially with the career here. Yeah, patience for the mundane. You have patience, I'm hearing patience for the process. There are things that you know that can't be rushed, and you're okay with that. Like, I don't know what you do for work, but I'm just getting the image of a scientist who's doing an experiment, and the experiment is taking a while, and they really, really want the thing to happen, you know, or they're really, really waiting for the result of everything that they've done, but it's taking a while for this reaction, or it's taking a while for this, whatever it is that's going to happen. But they know that there's nothing necessarily that they can or should do to speed it up. I'm just being shown like it's something that there's no catalyst, there's no magic way to speed up the process. You just have to be patient with it. And keep checking in daily, day in, day out, and recording the progress over time and having patience for that. So Spirit's commending you, Roa, for having this level of patience for the mundane, for the little things. I'm also getting the image of somebody who works in a garden where you plant the seeds and you know you planted the sunflower seed and you know that you're not just going to step outside the next day and have a 7-foot sunflower. You know, it's going to take time. And every day you go and you, you water and you pull the weeds and you take care of the ground and, you know, you add the fertilizer or whatever. And you just go back and do it day in and day out, and you see very slowly the changes happening, but you have the patience. Okay. What else? It's important for, woo! Okay, 10 of Wands, and I'm going to just pull another one to go alongside of it. King of Pentacles. You have, it's funny, this imagery came up in the last stream last week as well for someone else, but there's this, you have the ability to spin straw into gold, more or less. You have, there's like the physical energy in your career to get your things done, but you have the mental energy to do it as well. You also, I think you've learned recently, you've consciously known this for years, but you haven't, it never fully like sunk in or resonated until recently, where how do I word this, Spirit? Words are hard. You can, basically you can ask for help. You're capable of doing all of this on your own, but you can ask for help even if you don't think or feel like you need it. You're able to delegate tasks, and this is what's going to help come up with a good result. Oh, I see. Okay. So an example, Spirit's just showing me an example of like a project, you're editing something. And it's like, okay, well, I'm being shown like a creative team that's trying to make a video. And it's like, okay, well, you have the option of, well, I could do the voiceover and the editing all by myself. It'll take a little while longer to do it, but I could do it. Or like, I might have to put in a couple all-nighters to do it, but I could do it. But then it's like, but you don't have to. Because now I'm just seeing there's somebody on like your team that's like, oh, just send me the files and I'll do a little bit of editing here, you know. This is still your reading, Roa. Basically, yeah, you're able to ask for help. You're capable of doing everything perhaps on your own, but you don't have to. You're learning that you don't have to, and that's what's going to help you. So I actually kind of just started your reading, Roa, without having to go back and redo everything. Your oracle cards were step out of your comfort zone and it's time to take action. I had that some of your strengths were that you have patience for the mundane and for the daily practice of putting in the work towards whatever it is that you want and the changes that you want to see. And then, yeah, we just finished looking at how you don't have to do everything by yourself. You have the ability to, like, everything you work on becomes successful or comes with a good result. And a lot of that, it can be due to your ability to delegate tasks and ask for help. Okay? So that's, now we're caught up. Now we're up to speed. What else can Roa know about their true potential, their true power in their career and in their life? Woo! Interesting. Not what I was expecting at all, but then again, that's kind of the nature of these readings. That's kind of the fun part about it. I had Page of Wands and Four of Swords. Like, Page of Wands fell out, Four of Swords was underneath of it. I had Knight of Wands fall out and Four of Cups underneath of it. And interesting, we got matching wands, and then we have 4 and 4. Really what I'm getting is others are going to learn, I think, from your passion. Yeah. Your ability to talk about what it is that you're passionate, about doing, what it is that you love, what it is that you care about, and not only being able to talk about it and express it, but being able to go and do it. It's going to teach other people, I think, a similar thing about stepping out of the comfort zone. They're like, well, Roa did it, so I can do it. And Brenda, you're right, these 4s do keep coming up. Maybe I'm not done seeing 4s everywhere. I don't know. But 4 of Swords, and maybe it'd be 4. And this could be something, there we go. This could be something that you maybe had held on to since childhood. Maybe you were one of those kids that had a lot of very special interests and you were really passionate about something. But then eventually you quit talking about it because other people quit listening, or they ridiculed, or they just didn't understand, so you kind of shut it down. You're going to, Spirit's saying, that is done. That is done. And 4 of Swords is rest, Autumn. You are right. I'm kind of getting to that, right? Where in the past, Roa says, didn't understand my passion to arts and medicine together. I'm assuming med is medicine. Yeah, no worries, Autumn. We learn as we go on this channel. I still learn as we go. Sometimes cards can have multiple meanings, and sometimes it can have one meaning, but it might fit in a slightly different way depending on situation. Where, in the past you used to be so open about what you cared about, and then eventually you kind of stopped. You put that aspect of yourself to rest because other people didn't understand it. However, now you are going to go ahead and do it. And maybe times in the past where you wanted to do something and you're like, oh no, it would be weird if I did that. Or you're like, oh, I just don't know if that's going to work. So you just didn't do it and you disappointed yourself. You're going to make that up, I think, to yourself. And then again, with other people who watch you or are around you and are seeing what you are doing and seeing what you're able to accomplish, they're like, well, Roa did that, and I've always wanted to do that. So, I mean, if they did it, maybe I'll ask how they did it. Okay, and then I'll try it. And you inspire people. So you're done sleeping on your ideas. You are hot to trot with sharing them and with the creations that you make. Now, any other messages for Roa? Don't be afraid of your true potential, of your power. Don't be afraid of what you're capable of. And don't be afraid of it's like that energy of passion that you have in you. It's really it really wants to bubble over. And it's like this creative passion too. And the message is don't be afraid of that. Spirit is offering you an opportunity to explore this aspect of yourself, this creative aspect. Spirit's being like, hey, I want to offer you the opportunity to have this experience and to learn these things. Do you trust me? Do you trust Spirit? Okay, and that's what I have for you. I really hope that was helpful. So your career is a success. Well, let's look. I'm hearing success is what you make it, but What do we get here? Yeah. There's something that you do at your work that becomes part of like the policy. Interesting. Yeah, something that you're doing at work that becomes part of like the policy or the general way that things are done even long after you leave or retire or whatever. Cool. Okay. I'm not sure why though, Roa. I think that may be something for you to work out. But yeah, legacy of some kind, but it's in a good way. So maybe that's something, if you read tarot or anything like that, that may be something worth looking into for yourself, because you will know details that I don't know, right? Okay. And Amishi, you've been super patient. Thank you so much for waiting. You wanted a general reading. So let's get a general reading for Amishi. And then I know Lilith wanted a general reading as well, and I think we'll do Amishi and Lilith, and then I will end the stream here, or like after that. For real this time, not like last week where I said, oh, well, we'll do that, and then I streamed for another hour and then ended up with serious joint pain. So Amishi, what is your general reading? Spirit, what is the message that they need to know? You are good enough. You are good enough. And I was told to repeat that to you. You are good enough. That has to be drilled in. Spirit wants to drill this into your heart. You are good enough. So, what else for Amishi? Okay. Amishi. Whoop. Do I keep those that flew out? Yeah, Spirit says yeah. Devil, Chariot, and Temperance. Devil, Chariot, Temperance. You are good enough, Devil, Chariot, Temperance. Okay. You are going to move forward with healing, a healing journey. I'm seeing that it's going to go very deep. So not just surface level healing. I'm seeing it's from like the very core of who you are. It's almost like on an atomic level is where this healing starts for you. And it's starting now. Starting now. Well, I'm hearing starting now, but I feel like it's already started for you. Yeah, you've been through stuff in the past that's shown you why you feel like you're not good enough. And I really feel for you because I understand what that's like. I do. And humans are sort of hardwired to have like a negative bias, right? To remember the bad things and the I'm going to say the bad lessons that we learn, or the painful things, right? Where, maybe you're being told, yes, you're good enough, you're good enough, you're good enough. But then there's a part of you that goes back through all your memories and your mistakes and stuff. And is like, there's evidence why you're not good enough. There's evidence why you're not good enough. There's another piece of evidence why you're not good enough. This is like your ego lying to you. This is your pain lying to you. Okay. You're going to start letting that go. That inner monologue that I mentioned earlier in the stream for someone else, the inner monologue that you have is quieting down because it's being healed. You were never broken. I keep hearing something about broken from the start, and I don't know if that's what you maybe think of yourself or if that's what someone said to you or about you, but you're not broken and you never were broken. There was never anything wrong with you. There were people who didn't understand how to appreciate you, maybe didn't know how to appreciate aspects of you, but that was never your fault. That was never your problem. You're going to be like a new person here. I'm seeing with the Fool card. It's a new, you're, like I said before a couple times on stream, you're the same physical you, but this is a brand new adventure, and you're going to learn a new version of yourself that you weren't really familiar with, it's the you that you've always, oh wow, okay, so it's the you that you always have been and the you that you always are, I'm hearing, but you just were not able to see yourself that way. You just weren't able to see it because of experiences you had and words that people had said to you, over you, and about you that made you think that you weren't worthy. Okay. So, other messages? Okay, all right. There's something about making quick work of some of this process. There's stuff that you're ready to let go of that once you give yourself permission to let it go, it'll be gone. And it's like emotional baggage that it was part of the story that you always told yourself, but you personally, you don't believe it, it isn't true. And yeah, once you make that conscious choice, you give yourself permission to release the pain or the anger, to release the negative perhaps thoughts that you have about yourself, or release the echoes of words that people had said to you in the past. Once you make that choice to release it, it will dissipate, it will go. Because yeah, I'm just getting, you're ready to let that go. So that is exciting. That's really good news. I'm also seeing, I don't know if you do a magic practice or anything, but I'm just, Spirit wants me to show you this, okay? And I'm going to do it safely as I can. It's a eucalyptus leaf and it's burning, okay? Look how quickly that part burned away after I wiped the ash off of it. Look how quickly that part burned away. That's how, it's symbolic of how quickly those old self-beliefs and stuff will fall away. Oh, and Amy in the chat, I did see your questions. I wasn't ignoring you. I am very, very sorry about your situation, and we're gonna, after this, we're gonna do special prayer for your situation, okay? Okay. But for Amishi, what else does Amishi need to know, Spirit? You're always growing with this Empress. You're always growing, you're always learning. I don't know how old you are, you don't have to say in the chat at all, but it's never too late to learn new things. It's never too late to learn to love yourself, and you're never too old to try a new approach to life and the way that you see life. You are good enough. You deserve to let go of the crappy things that people have said and done to you. You deserve to heal from that. You deserve to heal from your past. You deserve to heal from your pain. And you deserve to learn and grow and move on to live your best life. All right. So then that's what I had for you. And then Lilith, you wanted, oh, actually before I move on to Lilith, I did say I do really want to pray for Amy and her child and their family situation. Spirit, please heal physically, mentally, spiritually, emotionally her child, the family, heal Amy. Remove the pain from her child's body, remove the struggle, remove the pain, remove... Yeah, I'm just hearing something I'm supposed to pray for, like remove the damage, repair the damage, provide comfort, provide peace of mind. Bless the, I'm being guided to pray this. Bless the hospital staff, guide their hands, guide their minds, guide their eyes to see what needs to be seen, guide their words to express properly what needs to be expressed for the child's best care. And so it is. Okay. So we're going to move to our last reading of the stream. Now, for anybody whose questions I did not get to, that was not personal. I either just didn't see it or like we're just going to run out of time, right? But I'll be back next week. So don't worry. If I didn't get if I didn't answer your question, it's not because I don't like you. It's just because I probably just didn't see it or whatever. So Lilith is our last one. Lilith is looking for a general reading. Lilith, your first message is take time to breathe out. You're doing a lot right now, or lately. You've been doing a lot. I would say almost like you've been doing too much. We have communication is key. You've been doing too much by yourself when you don't have to. I'm just seeing, this might be kind of silly, but here's the mental image I'm seeing is you're in a really dark room. Excuse me, I had the hiccups again. You're in a really dark room. You're tripping over things because you're looking for the light switch. You're tripping over stuff when, and you know, it's causing you harm. It's causing you great frustration when Spirit's saying you could just ask, hey, can someone turn on the light? Another thing I'm saying, oh God, Spirit, you want me to tell on myself? Fine, I will. Okay, I'm going to tell on myself. I'm going to tell you something that I do that. So I'm wearing contacts on stream, and y'all know that for those who are regular viewers. I most of the time just wear glasses, right? Because I need them. My eyes just don't function without them. Sometimes at night, I will take my glasses, I'll take them off to go to sleep, and I will have to get up. I'll have to, either get up to pee or I'll get up to go get something from the other room, and I will not put my glasses on, and I will fumble through the room, tripping over everything, and not turn on the light and figure out how to do everything in the dark, completely nearsighted blind, and it doesn't have to be like that. Meanwhile, there's my partner who's on the other side of the bed who's just sitting there like this, like, Sienna, you just turn the light on. Sienna, just put your glasses on. Or like me trying to fumble through, like on the TV, I try to change the settings to turn down the screen brightness or whatever. And if I've already taken my glasses off and I'm feeling too stubborn to put them on, I'm like squinting and I'm like doing the thing where I do this to try and like get just enough. For some reason, sometimes that works for nearsightedness. I don't know why. Or I'm trying to just go by feel, or I've timed, okay, I click the button down 2 times to get to this setting, then I hit enter, then I click down once, then I hit enter. And I've made it so much more complicated than it needs to be. And then my partner again is like, Sienna, just put your glasses on. That's Spirit's basically saying to you, Lilith, put your glasses on. But Spirit's saying this to you not to be rude or anything. It's just like, girl, you're doing too much. You're making something so much harder than it needs to be. Just put your glasses on. Just turn on the light. But let's get more info. Three of Wands, something that you've been waiting for is coming very soon. Eight of Swords. Yeah, okay, feeling trapped. Once you, in order to access this, you have to work through this and unstick yourself. So let's look at that. What is it that's coming, and how do you unstick yourself? So, the Three of Wands, what is the thing that you've been waiting for? It's something you've been waiting a while for. That's coming. Oh, that's funny. You even mentioned Eight of Swords above. Okay, well, there's Hierophant, and the first thing I thought of was marriage, like a legal, like, marriage ceremony. And don't worry about this Tower, but it is an upheaval of your routine. You wanted change in your life, you wanted a new beginning in your life, and that's coming. So what is it, Spirit, that Lilith needs to how does she get herself unstuck? Release your attachment to what you think the process is going to look like. Release your attachment to, or release your expectations based on how it worked out for other people, what they did, or what kind of worked out for them to achieve the same goal that you want. You have to let go of your attachment to that. But let's get more info. How does Lilith get herself unstuck? Interesting. Okay. One thing that I'm getting, because the other is to release the attachments and stuff. That's one message. The other message I'm getting is, yes, knowing that you are powerful, you are capable, you're very creative, but remembering that you are still human. You know, yeah, like, you know that you're a spiritual being, you can manifest, you can do all of this, but remembering that you still have human limitations, because even though you are a spiritual being, like I'd mentioned earlier in the stream, you are still wearing the human costume, right? And part of being human with these human limitations is asking for help. Yeah, okay. With asking for help, what is that all about, Spirit? Is that it's doing research, it's asking other people like in a similar situation to you, it's asking Spirit for help, it's asking for help, asking for help with this transition from like a hard time, a difficult time to, better stability. Asking for help before you burn yourself out too, and remembering that you do need to take breaks. I know that you're a very hard worker, and I know you're very determined, you're very loyal, I get that. You're very productive, and like you're very capable, but you got to remember to rest your brain as well. That's part of the human limitation, right? Is we have brains that we have to answer to. and brains that will affect the way in which we function sometimes. What else? What other advice? So yeah, what is the advice for Lilith then, Spirit? Or the words of encouragement or whatever it is that's going to help her. Okay, I did have Devil card flip out. I'm going to keep it, but that's only part of the message. What is the rest? I want this one for some reason. Oh, okay. Well, all right. I have Devil card. I have Seven of Swords. And it's like I think you have some fears that are lying to you. Devil card is also about ego. Ego doesn't necessarily mean like full of oneself or vanity. Ego can just be that, that like insecure kind of part of you that wants to keep you small and wants to keep you trapped and keep you in your comfort zone. And I'm also just getting like there's something about your anxieties are lying to you. There's also this, perhaps you have this belief that, well, no one's going to help me, so I might as well just do it myself. The belief there being nobody will help me, nobody's going to help me, nobody can help me. That's not necessarily true. Because I'm getting from Spirit, help is available to you. You have to be, I'm not trying to be rude saying this, I'm just saying it though. You have to be brave enough to ask for it. And it's an act of self-love when you ask for help. Your anxiety might be saying, oh, oh, well, but then you didn't really do it yourself and it wasn't your victory. Well, do we ever really do anything by ourselves, really? We all interdepend on each other to get stuff done, And whether that you do the physical task by yourself, but you have spiritual help, that's still not you doing the whole thing by yourself, right? So just understanding that you're not alone, that there is help available, that people want to support you. And then we have the World card. You will get out of this rut. Spirit wanted you to sit here for a minute and observe it and really take in like the kinds of thoughts that you have about yourself lately, about your efforts, about your desires, about your goals, like your beliefs about yourself. And see which ones are keeping you stuck in the rut. Maybe again, the belief of nobody wants to help me, or I have to do it myself, Maybe there were times in life where you did have to do some things on your own because the resources for help weren't there, but it doesn't mean that you're going through life in general entirely like that. And we're here to help you and support you too. And if you ever need to like rant about stuff or talk about anything or ask anything, just like, you got my contact info. You can always email me or whatever. Totally. Whoops. I did shuffle and then had fall out again, Seven of Swords in the World. It's like you're done letting your anxiety lie to you. Okay, so that is the message that I have for you. That is what I have for today's stream. I will be back. I always try to make a point to be back every Sunday. If I'm ever not able to, I will make a post saying otherwise so that you all are not left hanging. But I intend to be back next Sunday, and that's noon Mountain Time. Now we have daylight savings time, so I think it's now Mountain Daylight Time instead of Mountain Standard Time. So noon Mountain Time and 1 o'clock Central Time for those who are in North America. And today we used the One World Tarot. The links to that are in the description. If you liked the bracelets I was wearing today, they are courtesy of Otter Spirit. My moderators have done great work of posting their link in the chat. I didn't really feel like doing the sponsorship plug today, but the info is all there. And I will be back, and I'm very excited to see you guys again. All right, bye.